Let's talk about this Black Thought album with
Oh, you mean the
Danger.
album we should have been talking about first? But okay,
You think we should
okay.
have went Cheat Code first? I
It's the
guess.
better album. The better album's supposed to lead off,
Well,
and
I
so
went
we're going to
Megan
start off with
first.
that.
I went
You
Megan
know,
first while people were coming in the room. So
no. I get starting off with Megan is good because you actually had a synopsis to offer that I didn't, and so I think that's a good way to start a show when it's like when you have two hosts or a co-host, and it's like one person has heard something the other person that hadn't heard, and it's as quality as you said that it was, and I do trust your sentiments and opinions about it.
go
It's
check
like
it out. I think it's
no. Like literally, I'm gonna have to go pick up Asaya in about an hour and then go whip her around for a minute. When I go pick Sade up, my daughter's name is Asaya Sade. So if I'm saying Asaya and I'm saying Sade, same person. That's my kid, Asaya Sade. But I'm gotta go pick her up from work. When I go pick her up from work, I'm definitely gonna put it on and then I gotta whip her around a little bit. And so like I'm probably gonna get through most of the album before I touch back down to the crib. So I'm gonna listen to it, but in all candor, Mike, in full candor, the Black Thought album is better than the Game album.
Okay.
And we can juxtapose why. Musically, I think I'm going to try to, and this was my first thought about our Monday show. I'm going to pull, because the Black Thought album is what, 13 tracks?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pull what I feel like are the best 13 tracks
It's
out of the 30.
It's 12.
12. I'm going to pull what I feel are the best 12 tracks from Black Thought's album and juxtapose them to the 12 best tracks from the Game's album and show you why. But for me personally, when I heard this album, the only complaint that I had about the album you already gave, which is the tempo. And if the tempo was the only complaint about this album, well, then I would tell you it's the least complaints that we've had about an album all year, which makes it album of the year.
You got this as album of the year? Okay.
I do because it has the least complaints. Because immediately, how about this? Here's the best way that I can frame it, and I want to pull it up specifically when I was listening to it.
Can I get to the super chats real quick while you're doing
that? Yeah. No, I didn't even know we had super chats.
Rakashah says, Mike, thanks for your point of view on the Black Slim Shady. Track sounds much better now. Wonderful perspective. You fellas are on point. Keep doing keep doing your thing. A2HH rocks. Appreciate that. So, LP with the super chat says, no one could do it better. Straight out of Compton, niggas for life. The Chronic, B, and the CD are the only. I'm sorry, College Dropout are the only albums with no co-producer. Daytona got co-producers. We'll get into all of that, and I think that's a whole separate show. But yeah, we'll definitely do that.
So hold on. So the Monday show on Patreon is really going to allow us. Like, how about this? When we're here and we're live, we're digging into our feelings, we're dealing into our perspectives, we're dealing into our critiques. Because of what's going on and how we can do it on Patreon, it's like, no, we can go beat for beat, bar for bar, and break it down and start deciding.
Yeah,
and like we can start getting somewhere. And that's part of the reason why we chose Patreon. Truthfully, we were going to go on the website, but we realized that if we did the website, that y'all weren't going to be involved, and you were just going to be forced to listen to me and my diatribes. And Lord knows nobody wants that, because apparently you guys want to lose to me. Like that's really all I hear when you guys talk. It's like, oh, apparently you want to lose to me the way Lupe did with the Shakespeare thing. Because I'm still waiting to hear back from him about him picking a ghostwriter as his best writer of all time. But if you want to lose the same way that he lost and think that you won the same way that he did, that's what the Patreon is for. And you can pull up. But when I pull up cheat codes, Mike, from track 3, from The Darkest Part to Strangers, from 3 to 9, oh, that's the best album run this year, clearly. And it's not even a question of it. I get what you're saying about tone, the tone of the album. The BPMs kind of feel like they're the same. But what I would submit to you is that, well, Daytona's kind of the same way, and we don't say anything. There's only like 2 switch-ups. Yeah, the BPMs on Daytona are all the same outside of what would Meek do, and if you know, you know. And so there's a couple switch-ups on here.
The games
the tone's kind of the same beat-wise. You're thinking stylistically because the beats are so different. But
I'm thinking more so stylistically. And maybe
Mike, they're hitting that same pattern of where Push is comfortable. And that's why you like it so much. And so what I have to submit to you is that, well, what makes this Hit Boy Nas pairing sound so good? what made that Pusha T Kanye sound so good is what makes this sound so good. He found a producer that he sounds good from end to end with, and that's what this album is. This is Black, and I want people to understand this. This is Black Thought's first real attempt at a solo album. This is Black Thought's first real solo album. There are 3 EPs. There's The Roots, and then there's this. This is his first real opus, Mike, and it's beautiful. Y'all talk about Drillmatic not having any skips. No, this doesn't have any skips. Drillmatic has skips. This doesn't have skips. The bar work is intense and is at high level. The beats are soulful and match the artist, which is what we've been waiting for him to do. The reasons that his EPs do not sound as good as we would like them to sound, it's not because the bar work is not there. It's because he doesn't sound invited and excited enough to rap over these tracks. No, he's invited and excited, and the themes that he expressing on here, to quote the person that said it, is exactly the same thing that's going on the Black Star album and on the Lupe album, and it's done better than both and more digestible than both. And here's what else I'll submit to you. He put people in places to succeed the same way that Game and Westside Gunn does, and we need to give him credit for that as a lyricist. Lyricists don't put people in places to succeed like this. Like that whole Because, Belize, Aquamarine run, 5, 6, and 7, with the artist and the way that the artists were placed and how it sounds, that's Westside Gunn shit. That's Game shit. That's Scarface shit.
I think,
and when they do it, we give them credit. We're going to give the lyricist credit when they do it too.
Well, you know who I want to give the credit for this? I'm honestly going to give Danger Mouse the credit because he's in the group too. Yep. And I think that where these people are placed has a lot to do with Danger Mouse.
So you want to know what I hear?
Based on the resume, you know what I'm saying?
So you want to know what I hear? Remember, okay, so in 2020 when KD1 came out, KD1 was the 5th best album that year, in my opinion, after Pray for Paris. No, 4th. I had it tied for 4th with Busta Rhymes' ELE 2. So it went Pray for Paris.
Alfredo.
If I could go back, I put Alfredo 3rd originally. If I could go back now, I'd go Pray for Paris, Alfredo, From a King to a God, and then KD1. This is better than KD1.
Oh, yeah. No, this is better than KD1.
KD1 was the 4th best album of 2020. Okay? You can't tell me for certain right now that Che Noir's album is better. You can't tell me Black Star's album is better.
I can tell you Black Star's album is better than me.
Okay, so you and me, we feel like Black Star's album is some next shit. But also, too, you have to understand
this ain't
something.
Some next shit. It's some dope shit, but it ain't some next shit.
People may not hear what we're hearing with the Black Star. How about this? The Black Star thing, Mike, is one of those things I hope when they're doing the according to hip-hop like Biop, we're like, yeah, we were right about the No Fear of Time thing and everybody else was wrong.
That No Fear of Time is some next shit.
No. But for right now, Mike, it's just a 4.5. You feel me? For right now, that's
struggle
just
with that.
No, because we're according to hip hop, and we have to let the people be involved. And the people keep knocking No Fear of Time down about Moses' performance and saying Madlib's done better beats. So we knocking it down to a 4.5 at least, maybe 4.25.
I like Madlib's production job on that album better than I like Danger Mouse's on this. And you know, I was big on this album, and I picked this album to be album of the year.
I agree.
Maybe I pumped it up too high for my own liking.
No. Here's what I would tell you, because I thought of No Fear of Time when I thought of this. Even with you saying that, because I do think Madlib's production job is better than Danger Mouse's job.
Or Black Thought's just Black Thought.
Black Thought, Mike, I don't care what you feel about Mos Def and where he should be. I don't care a shit about Talib and where Talib is when he is his best. You know who Mos Def and Talib is when they're at their best? They're not him.
I think Mos Def is his best.
No, he's not.
Mos Def is his best.
It's the double trouble. No, he's not.
Hold on, let me get to these super chats.
I'll take Black Thought at his best. Hold on. You can take Mos Def at his best. I'll take Thought. I'll whoop that ass.
I'll take Mos Def at his best at any day.
Aquamarine is the proof. No Gold Teeth is the proof. Hold on. Mos Def doesn't have a No Gold Teeth in his catalog.
You talking about the guy with mathematics in his catalog?
No.
Or the guy with priority in his catalog?
Mathematics?
We're not going to play that game. Come on now. Don't try to play Ghost. I mean, not Ghost.
Mathematics is something that should be compared closer to Dumb It Down, and I Gave You Power than No Gold Teeth. That's why I'm saying he didn't have No Gold Teeth. He doesn't know how to just. Most don't give you no street banger. Black Thought can give you a street banger. Where's the street banger at? Mathematics is the street banger?
Now this is where I want to go to the actual tracks with. I wish we could play
music
right now.
Let's go to the tracks.
No, let's go to the tracks with this one.
This fall shit banging.
No, write that one down.
I'm sorry. Most Def doesn't have one record that I've heard like No Gold Teeth in his career.
Let me get to these super chats. Melanin Man with the super chat. Melanin Man with the super chat.
No Aquamarine unless you're talking.
Let me get to these super chats.
I'm sorry.
Melanin Man says, I'm not even the biggest Black Thought fan, but his teaming up with Danger Mouse was genius, and it shows. Live instrumentation works well for Black Thought via the roots. Now with Danger Mouse, fire. I think there's a couple of more super chats. Shoot, I think I skipped over my man Jay Short. Shout out to Jay Short with all the support. He says, Close to Famous is my favorite song this year. He also says, Set Good Productions says, Dre ain't produced in years. Tupac in 1996. Nice quote. It's some
I'm sorry.
more.
I want to get to this most of Black Thought thing. Yeah, we about
Cam Porter says, No Fear of Time is a top 5, is a 5 out of 5. People are sleeping.
That's what we said.
I agree, Cam Porter.
That's what we said. No, I want you to understand. Okay, so understand this. For you and me, how about this?
Oh, the Raisin Head says No Gold Teeth is an old verse.
Find me the verse.
And I think we're good.
Verse.
Go ahead.
If it's an old verse, that's more of a testimony than it is a detraction. If the verse is old, that's a testimony. Like when you go into church and you testify to inspire the rest, it's like, I just want to let you know that I just set the world on fire with this song, but it's 7 years old. Testify, testimony. That's what you do in your church. You testify testimony. Listen, there are no skips on this album, Mike.
Yeah.
There's no real skips on this album. This is Black Thought. No, how often, this is what I'm about to say, and this is how I want people to start framing it. Think about how often times a lyricist makes an album with no skips. I'll wait.
This is what I'm going to say. Because I disagree with you. I'm just going to name the songs I could do without. Is that fine?
I would love to hear them, Mike, because you and me are not hearing the same thing.
The songs I could do without are, I'm sorry, man. I think Identical Deaths I could do.
I knew you were going to say that. You're fired. I want to let you know that you're fired. I want to let you know that you're fired. You like drill music in Zion, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you not like Identical Deaths?
I mean, I think the standard, maybe it's Aquamarine being in front of it.
It's Aquamarine being
Aquamarine is so excellent.
Mike, that run, I told you, Mike, that run from 3 to 7 is the best album run this year. It's actually the best album run since Magic. No Gold Teeth, Because, Belize, Aquamarine. Oh, no. Those 4 songs in sequence are the best 4 rap songs that you're going to find this year. Period, point blank. Without question. Mike, you know how I feel about Doom sometimes? That Belize shit with Doom is stupid, Mike. It's stupid.
No, I agree.
That shit high level, Mike. They follow up the Belize joint with Aquamarine. Aquamarine is the rap song of the year, Mike. I told you when I heard it. Didn't I tell you when I heard it? I was like, that's the best rap song this year. It is. And again,
Aquamarine is better than everything that's on No Fear of Time, but I think No Fear of Time for me is still rap album of the year.
People don't think so though, Mike. I would agree. I would agree.
Well, people ain't heard it, and that's a problem.
Hold on, listen what I'm telling you. If you're giving me Danger Mouse or Mad Lib, I'm gonna take Mad Lib slightly beat wise. But Tariq, the walking standard of bars, Mike. Oh, Talib and Most ain't fucking. Hold on. If Talib and Most were ever fucking with him, well, they're not right now.
Well, this is what I would say
too. That's where the No Fear of Time of conversation is, because the production and the length of the albums is very, very comparable. And I also want to submit to you that one of the best out verses on the Black Star album is by who? It's by Thought. Yeah, Thought has one of the best verses. He's only guest appearance on the Black Star album.
Yeah,
and he has the best verse on that song. And so it's like, no, this album's better than that. If you want to start, if you're going beats, rhymes, and life, and not the innovation, because I think when we gave No Fear of Time a 5 because we can hear the innovation.
The innovation goes a long way with me. It really does.
No, it does with me too. I really feel like in 5 years, Mike, we're really going to pull up on No Fear of Time, and everybody else is going to be wrong, and we're going to be right.
Yeah.
But while we're right here, this is better according to what the standards are being
you
set.
know, it's funny, man.
Hold on, let me ask you something. Let's take Black Star out. Is it better than the Che Noir and the Ransom to you?
Yeah, it is.
And that makes it album of the year outside of Black Star, which means
I'm fine with that, and I'm fine with it being number 2 that I've heard so far. But I didn't get that feeling that I felt when I heard the Black Star, because I got on the Black Star a little later in that afternoon because you had heard it before I did.
Yeah, that was the midnight listen. That was the midnight listen and then the day listen. Yeah, that midnight listen.
And when I heard it, I was like, yo, man, this really is some next shit. Ethan Hill with the super chat says, Mike Dean helped 2 beats on Daytona. Antonio says, this was a masterful emceeing from Black Thought. And you know what? Black Thought is super consistent when it comes to emceeing. But one thing I will say, all of the features on here, on point. I'm not even that big of a fan of LP when it comes to rhyming. Well, LP rhymed his ass off on this record. A$AP Rocky did what he does. Killer Mike has a verse of the year contender on this album. Joey Badass did his thing. Raekwon did his thing. Russ did his thing. I mean, when you say the Black Thought is the standard of bars, you could tell that because from the features, everybody brought their super A game because they knew who they were on the track with.
Okay. Thank you for saying that. So when you were talking about Raekwon and how Raekwon sounded on this track earlier, I wanted you to hear exactly.
Doom did his thing too. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, Doom did his thing. No, let me say
I didn't want to leave that off.
No, let me say it so people understand it coming from me. No, Doom did his motherfucking thing on here.
Yeah.
That shit with Doom is Belize is one of my favorite joints on here. That's one of the 4 best joints on here.
And Conway did his thing too.
He did. But let me say this about Ray. When I heard Ray's verse, you want to know what I heard? I heard somebody that knew that they were rapping with Black Thought. Ray hasn't had a lyrical verse like this in quite some time. For all of y'all, like you know how I feel about Wu. You know how I feel about Ray. I got Ray almost as high as I have Ghost. I have Ray higher than I have Method Man. Raekwon on this verse sounds the way he sounds. He doesn't rap like this when he raps with other dudes because he doesn't have to. You understand? Black Thought requires Raekwon to bring his 95, 96 purple tape game to the table, and he does. That is what Black Thought requires out of somebody like Raekwon. And so when you're like, he's not a star, it's like, well, I could tell you the same thing about Westside and about Game, but for some reason, those guys always bring out the best in their stars. And this guy, Black Thought, lyrically, is something that Game and Westside can never hope to be. And so when the guest stars show up like this for somebody like Black Thought, Mike, what can you really say? Raekwon's verse sounds like that because, Mike, you need to hear those first 2 Black Thought verses. It's like when I heard Ray come in, it's like, well, he didn't have a fucking choice. He didn't have a choice. You can't kick your street hat. No. You better get on your big pun, Nas, Rakim, Cool G. You better get on your lyrical game. You better get on your super lyrical game. You better act like you're rapping next to Ghost and this is Supreme Clientele. You better. That's
LP
Black
says,
Thought.
so Thought, he's talking to me, he say, Mike, so Thought got more skips than Game?
You did kind of allude to that, Mike, because you felt like a 30-track album only had 2 skips. You told me a 30-track album only had 2 skips.
This is what I'm going to say. This is what I'm going to say. And I know we've said this in previous shows. We were talking about best MCs from Philly. And we talk about Black Thought, obviously being that runaway number 1.
It was him.
Yeah, and then you got Beanie Siegel out there.
Yep.
Beanie Siegel, to me, is much more entertaining to listen to than Thought. I would never say he's a better MC. Beanie Siegel's not more entertaining to listen to than Thought?
You know how I feel about
Come on
Siegel.
Now.
Okay.
He's not more entertaining to listen to?
Hold on. So let's unpack this.
Yeah.
And I was harking back to our old conversations, Mike, when you brought up the entertainment value today. I can remember those mid-2000 stretches, Mike, and you used to be like, Coop, Nas is boring. And I'd be like, he's not boring, you're just not listening. Now, here's the reality of the matter about that sentiment. You were right about a lot of stuff, because Nas can sometimes be boring.
In certain settings, but If we talk about Thief's theme, Nas, no.
That's what. Okay, so I'm glad you brought that up. You understand that what Black Thought is doing on this album is more Thief's theme than anything else. So when you're saying it's not entertaining, it's like, no, this isn't like Save the Baby's Black Thought. This is like Thought on some rap shit, Mike.
Listen,
you don't want
I'm
to
a
hear
big
Black Thought. This is Black Thought on some rap shit for 12 tracks, and you're telling me that's not entertaining. It's like, no, I've actually been waiting to hear Black Thought on a solo mission on some rap shit, like literally since I was a teenager. And so, yeah, that's entertaining.
Definitely. Me too. But listen, we were on this show championing No Gold Teeth when it came out. Championing because Aquamarine when it came out. Strangers when it came out. I was like, yo, these are heavy. But I'm not gonna sit here and act like everything on the album is all the way up to those standards. I think those are some of the best songs on the album. And maybe it's one of those neck and wrist things too, where it's like I heard a lot of my favorite songs well before the album dropped, and it wasn't like there was anything on the album that exceeded what I had already heard. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna be honest with you, Mike. I feel like, how about this? If he just would have dropped Strangers and Because, and you never heard No Gold Teeth or Aquamarine, you would feel totally differently about this project.
And I said that. I said that when he put out No Gold. I said, I hope he stops putting them out.
No, listen.
I said that.
I don't care what you say, Mike. No Gold Teeth and Aquamarine,
they're two of the best songs
this year. Drillmatic. They're literally better than every 30 songs that are on Drillmatic. Aquamarine and No Gold Teeth are better than everything on Drillmatic.
I'm with that.
Everything.
I'm with that.
Hold on. So I'm going to go back to my guy Guru on Moment of Truth, who says, sometimes I kick a freestyle that sounds better than the next man's whole album. That's who Black Thought is. Black Thought is the type of guy. Let me finish this. He can deliver on the level. It's like, no, you can make 30 good songs. His 13 songs are better than your 30 good songs. And that's exactly what happened today. This is better than Che Noir's album. This is better than Ransom's album.
Yeah.
It's probably going to play for people better than the Fear of Time album, Mike. And you know what that makes that? That makes this the album of the year so far. There's no cracks in this album. There's no flaws production-wise, rhyme-wise, guest appearance-wise. If the best thing that you got for me is you're telling me that I wasn't entertained,
this is what I'm gonna say to you.
Game and Megan's album are not album of the year.
And you said this about Game's album. How many great songs do I see on here? The great songs I see on here: No Gold Teeth, Aquamarine.
Yep.
Strangers.
I think Belize with Doom is great. Belize with Doom.
Okay.
The Darkest Part with Ray.
I need some more listens with them. Because again, it didn't sit with me like when I first heard No Gold Teeth and when I heard Aquamarine and even because I think I was higher on Because than you were. It was like, yeah, those hit immediately. I didn't really feel that way about the other ones. I think they're good records. But
no, I can respect that, Mike. But here's the reality, man. Okay, so let's say we just go. This is what I mean about this stretch of songs. The Darkest Part, No Gold Teeth, Because, Belize, and Aquamarine. Mike, those five songs, those are 5 of the best 30 rap songs this year. They're on one project. That's the album of the year. You feel what I'm saying? No other project can say that I got 5 of the best 30 tracks this year on one album. Che can't say that. Ransom can't say that. Game can't say that after dropping 30 tracks. Black Thought is saying that, dropping 5 out of 12. Those are 5 of the best 30 rap songs this year. Period. You're not going to, and Mike, if you feel differently, since we're going to pull up on Monday, and this is the fun thing about Monday, we have more time to audit the music and to kind of circle around on the review. So we're going to have more time to listen to Thought, listen to Megan, and listen to Game. But if you can find me an album that has 5 songs, like those songs that I just named, I'm going to give them some consideration for album of the year. But I guarantee you, if you can find an album like that, it doesn't have 12 songs on it. And that makes Thought's album the album of the year. And that includes No Fear of Time. Because here's my thing with No Fear of Time. I think the production is slightly better. the best 5 songs on Thought's album are better than the best 5 songs on No Fear of Time. Aquamarine and No Gold Teeth is better than everything on No Fear of Time too. Maybe Yonders.
I don't think No Gold Teeth's better than everything on there. You know, I don't know, man. This is the thing, Coop. I just don't feel it in my gut that this is album of the year. It just doesn't feel right to me to say.
Well, that's because KD3 is on the way. I tried to tell you KD3 was going to be album of the year anyway. You're feeling that way.
No, but this is the thing, Coop. I even predicted this to be album of the year, so you would think that I would be going along with you.
I'm disappointed in you. I can't even.
You would think that I'd be going along with you.
When I texted you this morning, and we've kind of like, I've been busy today, and you've been doing your thing too, but when you didn't text me at any point with any Black Thought notes, that's when I knew what was up. I was like, this motherfucker been running around calling this shit the album of the year, and now he's about to pull this shit when we pull up on live. Yeah. No, Mike, it's the album of the year. According, if
you think I was right, I don't think I was.
If the people help us decide, and they have told us that No Fear of Time is not the album of the year, because I agree with you. I do prefer No Fear of Time to this because I feel like in 10 years it's going to push the culture more forward, stylistically.
Well, if the people pick it, it is what it is. You know what I mean? It's just my opinion anyway. I'm just telling you, I don't feel like it is, and I predicted this, and I
tell you what I thought No Fear of Time was potentially? I thought it potentially was Aromatic. It was that album we got our hands on that nobody else had heard yet, that people didn't really realize how great it was. And I still think that it's that. But based on what the people have been telling us, this is the album that checks all the boxes. It's cheat codes, Mike. Hold on, listen to what I'm saying. Hold on. How about this? Do you know, you already know this. It's better than the Ransom and than the Che, isn't it?
It is.
So that immediately makes it number 2 on a bad day for you. So that means it's pretty fucking great.
It's close. I think, man, I was expecting it to be better than No Fear of Time, and in my heart, I don't think it is. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, that's where I'm coming from.
I don't think it is either, but that's only because I think that, like, Brock Marciano's about to drop.
Yeah, that's happening.
KD3 is on the way. You picked this as album of the year. I picked KD3.
Yeah.
So here's what I will tell you. This album isn't breathtaking enough that I am willing to pivot off of KD3. I do think KD3 is going to be better than
You shouldn't feel like you got to pivot off of KD3.
This isn't a breathtaking classic, but you want to know what it is? It's 4.75 and album of the year so far, based on what the people have to say.
I feel like this could be Prisoner of the Moment stuff.
On Monday, let's pull it up and audit it properly. But I'm going to tell you what it really is. I cannot give this album less than a 4.5. I have no reason to, and neither do you.
No, you're right.
Mike,
I guess maybe my expectations
how many times, do you know how many times we pulled up here and pulled up a 4.5? Not often, and you sound so unexcited and so unbothered by it. It's like, yeah, it's a 4.5. It's like, nigga, we hand out 4.5s in about 2.5 years, about 10 times. So about 2 to 3 times a year, somebody's going to get a 4.5, and you're like, and it's like, that's not cool that you're treating Thought that way, kind of. Like,
no, man, like I said, man, for me, when I hear things like Aquamarine,
it's a 4.75.
When I hear things like Aquamarine, there's a standard that's been set. And even when I listen to the album, I'm like, was I tripping? And then I listen to the album, and then I hear from Belize. Doesn't it come after Belize?
Before.
No. It's right after Belize. So I hear Belize. I like Belize. And then Aquamarine comes on. That shit like opens up everything. And I'm like, for an album that is classic, or I don't even want to go there, but really great or really good, there shouldn't be a song on there that is just that much better than everything else on here. And I guess that's what's clouding my judgment. Born King with the super chat says, Nas is known for pulling the best out of Ray too. They're known for pulling the best out of each other. Pause.
Okay, so first of all, listen to what I'm about to say again about Raekwon. How many guys got multiple guest appearances with Black Thought and Nas other than Ray? How many guys can say that I've been on record with Nas 3 times and been on record with Black Thought 3 times? You know how many guys can say that? Ray's the only guy can say that. That's why I keep telling you when you're talking about it's like
shared albums with Ghost. So yeah.
So when I be like, he's right outside the top 10, and you're like, I'm not sure about that, Coop. It's like, are you sure about what you're talking about? Because
So you gonna
apparently,
put Ray over
Black
Redman?
and Ghost seem to think that this guy can rap next to them.
You put Ray over Redman?
Yes, I told you I have Ray literally right ahead of Redman. That's the person I have him right in front of. It literally goes Raekwon 11, Redman 12. Yeah, it goes like that.
Jay Short says both another Danger Mouse and Stream album coming soon.
It goes Black Thought 10, Raekwon 11, Redman 12. Ghostface is like 8 on that list. That's what I'm saying. Nas is 1 on that list. Now, it is funny how Nas and Ghostface, Black Thought, seem to think this about Raekwon. But these niggas outside be talking differently. I'm going to trust Ray and Ghost and Thought.
LP says 4 out of 11 great songs is better than 4 out of 30 songs, Mike.
It's actually like, how about this? How about this? There's, for me, let's just break this album down. No, let's break this album down like song for song right quick. And and this is what I mean. I'm happy that we're doing a Monday show because all the things that we don't have time to do now, we get to audit and play behind. Even the stuff that you say on the thought that you don't feel, it's like some of the stuff that you're not feeling. It's like, well, I want to be able to pull it up and be like, yo, Mike, you don't feel that? Are you sure?
Well, I want to be able to have a weekend to listen to it too, because I think that's the other part. Like today, there was a lot of music to listen to, and I think thought could have kind of got caught up in that.
Yeah, no, we're both getting overloaded. That's why the Monday show on Patreon is going to be good. But if you're telling me that the darkest part, No Gold Teeth, Because, Belize, Aquamarine, and Strangers, oh yeah, like. Go show me the rap album that got that shit on it.
Mad Max of the Super Chat says, all of them songs sound the same, Coop. Grove Dover says, Coop is overrating consistency. Consistency can be boring in a certain circumstance.
I'm overrating consistency. You mean the people that show up and do their job all the time don't deserve to be considered highly?
Antonio says, I'll be playing this. He said, I'll be playing this more than anything until KD3. Jay Short says, Mike, the Hot Boys are my favorite group of all time. Entertaining as heck. Not in the top 20 of groups.
Okay.
Jordan House says
Redman is better.
Jordan House says, go ahead. My bad.
No, all these people saying Redman is better than Raekwon. Show me the purple tape and show me the Iron Man.
Jordan House says, did y'all get a chance to see the video for Deja Vu off the Rock Marciano Alchemist project? I saw somebody emailed that to us. I think it was Ray Rims. Got to check that out. It's just so much music out here right now. We're definitely going to get to it.
That's supposed to drop August 25th, Mike. That's the problem.
August 25th?
That's the sleeper record. Here's what we have. This is what I mean. No, is this Black Thought album of the year? Right now, it's like, yeah, but it's like we got KD3.
Yeah.
Gibb might drop. Cole might drop. We know JID is dropping. That's another sneaker move right there. JID out here snapping.
Yeah.
JID out here snapping.
We got to talk about his record too. Wednesday, Monday,
shit
whatever.
Snapping. Well, I told you, JID out here snapping.
Clayton is asleep says that bridge is the beat to Strangers is so funky. Yeah,
it is. I agree.
All right, so we're going.
What are we giving? Hold on. So what are we giving the Game album? What's the rating?
We said 4.25, and this
and we're giving the Thought.
I need to listen more.
Are you cool with a 4.5?
I'm cool with that.
Pull up on Monday. Yeah. How about this? We're tentatively gonna. You want to know what? This will be a cool thing that we get to do on our Monday show. Is that we can start auditing our Friday ratings.
Yeah.
It's like we pulling up Games 4.25, Thoughts of 4.5. We got the weekend. We can let it bubble. We can pull back up with the music. Because I'm telling you, Mike, I want you to play the 5 best songs on Drillmatic on Monday.
I will. I mean, I'm gonna have a whole weekend.
We'll play the 5 best songs on Thoughts album. I think you're in trouble.
Yeah. I'm gonna have a whole weekend to listen. Let's get to our sponsor and get up out of here, because we had a great show. But
relax. People been here the whole time. Shout out to everybody who's been supporting us, been in this chat the whole time.
Shout out to everybody, man. It's been a real crowded group today, but we got to the super chats.
No, I appreciate this from when there'd be like 62 people in the room and you and me be texting each other. It'd be like, hey, Mike, we got 62 people in the room. We popping.
Right. Relax and Relief CBD promo code A2HH, get 10% off. Go ahead and tell them about the needs for CBD, Coop, for the people out there.
Well, first of all, I want to piggyback on what I was saying on Wednesday about Linux getting me my
Oh yeah. He's
samples.
bringing the samples Monday.
He's actually promised the samples. And so what I want to let you know first is that Relax and Relief CBD actually delivers when they say that they're going to deliver. But this is something that we picked up. I know it's easy for people to be like, oh, it's a hip hop podcast. They're doing a CBD promo. It's like anybody that's actually been watching the show knows that somebody that I encourage, like holistic therapy in general, mental health, mental wellness. I personally suffer from some like anxiety issues and quite frankly, just not putting up with people's bullshit on any sort of level. And so this is actually like a product that helps me kind of alleviate some of the mental health and mental wellness issues that I have. I speak to it with candor the way that I do, Mike, because so many Black men, it appears, are embarrassed these days about needing help in various ways. I'm not one of those people. This is something that can potentially help those that have real problems and real issues and help you get through your day and like feel better. And it's not always just like a mental health thing. Sometimes it's a physical thing. Like Mike, I have a reoccurring knee issue. I have a back issue from when I was a teenager from a bad car accident that I was in. There are blisters on my feet right now. Like, you know, these things help alleviate pain too, so that you can function and make it through the next day and make it to the next event. I mean, Mike, I have to work tomorrow. I have a private event for a business that I'm consulting with a dear friend who we both know. Shout out to Sequoia and High Spirits Bartending. If you're going to be in the city tomorrow, pull up with us and find out where. But, you know, Mike, I'm a hustler. I'm on the move and I'm on the go. You know, I snap a lot. This helps with my anxiety. This helps with my physical. Lennox better have my samples before I snap on him too. And that's where we at with it. But it's really a good and a healthy thing. And we're actually going to be doing some events coming forward in the future. So actually, y'all stay tuned. We're actually going to be putting some things together.
And we're going to get y'all the link in the community section for Monday. So stay tuned with that. And enjoy y'all weekend. Great show. And go listen to that Black Slim Shady again, man. You might have a different outlook.
And I promise, hold on, Mike, before we go, I promise everybody, at some point tomorrow, you're going to see a picture or a video or some sort of synopsis where you will know that Mike and I live in the same city and hang out around the same people.
Yeah.
There's going to be pictures tomorrow, video, because like, yeah, we're going to be outside tomorrow. For all of y'all that be tripping and acting like Mike don't be outside. Mike's going to be outside tomorrow.
I'll be outside all the time. Mike just be low key. I'll be in the corner.
Well, you don't be running into rappers getting yourself in problematic situations. That's just my black ass, Mike. That's just me that happens to. And when I mean that only happens to me, people have been telling me this my whole life. You know that only happens to you. Nobody runs into these guys except for you. Like literally, I run into these people. They be like, Coop, that only happens to you. And it's like, well, that's what I'm supposed to be doing according to hip hop, because I literally have been running into these guys since I was about 15, 16 years old. I got Ja Rule stories, Nelly stories, Memphis Bleak stories, Lil C stories, cannabis stories. I think I just told a 21 Savage. Like, how many stories you want? I got some NFL player stories. Remember Pac-Man Jones? I got some Pac-Man stories.
We gotta go.
Michael Jordan, Charles Oakley, Anthony Mason, Peter Piper, pick up Peppers. Right, I got everybody.
So yeah, we'll have it in the community section as far as that link, and we're gonna holler at y'all.